Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and in this video, I'm going to be covering 11 staple items that every guy should have in his closet. Now, these are my personal must-have recommendations and a great place to start if you're trying to revamp your closet. If I were to work with clients one-on-one, these are the things that I would absolutely suggest having. And I think it's worth mentioning that regardless of your personal style, I think there's a version of all of the things on my list today that can apply to everyone. I'll be honest, my goal was 8 things to have on the list, and that very quickly snowballed into me adding more and more. So I had some self-control and was able to stop at 11. There might be a good amount of overlap from my previous fashion videos, but that's because I like to keep things consistent. The timeless, staple, classic pieces are my forte. Also thought it would be helpful to just put everything in one place here if you're a guy who's trying to start from square one and want to know the basics and the staples to have in your closet. So the first thing here is quality denim. I could probably make an entire video about the specifications that make a pair of denim good quality, but I won't bore you with all of that in this video. But high quality denim is something that I think every guy should have. Now, denim is essentially going to be the workhorse of your wardrobe, and specifically your casual outfits. You can start with your denim every single time for a foolproof casual look. And I think every grown man just needs a tried and true pair of nice denim. My personal recommendation would be a darker wash and a durable denim. Many of you know that I prefer selvage denim, and that would be my #1 recommendation. But regardless, the denim should be a cut that suits your body type. You know, if you have smaller legs, you might want to go for a slim cut. If your legs are average or above average, a straight leg might suit you better. So this one's really going to depend on you and your body type. You don't want them to be too tight or too loose, so just play around with the fit here and find what works best for your build. Now, I am not a fan of denim that has distressing or rips or any of that, but I really do think every grown man needs at least one pair of denim that is a solid, staple, basic pair, no frills, just a nice pair of quality denim. And I'll also give you a little tip here. Japan makes some of the best selvage denim in the world, so I would definitely recommend checking out some Japanese selvage denim brands. If you need help down in the comments, I can answer your questions. The second thing that every grown man needs to have are t-shirts. And that's because basics make the best outfits. Keeping it simple is safe, yes, but effective. You cannot go wrong with a black or white solid t-shirt. These can be layered and paired with nearly everything. And you can absolutely open this up to any color you desire as well, but I would recommend starting with black and white. Just a little bonus tip within this one here, I would also recommend having some white undershirts that you can wear underneath your dress shirts to help keep your dress shirt clean and prevent those pit stains. You can just get a pack of cheap undershirts from Target, Walmart, Amazon. I wouldn't recommend splurging on these since they're only going to be worn underneath things and won't be seen. A great place to shop for staple pieces is actually the place where my shirt is from too. Cuts has comfortable, high quality, and versatile clothing for both men and women. I'm obsessed with the shirt that I'm wearing from them. It's flattering, but also incredibly comfortable and can easily be dressed up or down. Versatility and quality are 2 things that I always try to stress to you guys in my fashion videos, which is why I'm such a big fan of Cuts. I really like their t-shirts for men. I actually got a few for my husband, and the fit is so flattering on him. In the summer, these are great to wear on their own, but in the fall and winter, if you live somewhere with seasons, they can easily be layered with a cool jacket. I also got him a thermal for layering purposes too. So if you're looking for high quality staple pieces that are going to give you that added versatility feature that we love on this channel, I highly recommend checking out Cuts. Or if you're looking for something for the lady in your life, check out the women's selection as well. I have a link down in the description for you, and you can also use my special code Courtney Ryan for 20% off of your entire order. All right, next up is one of my favorites, and that is an Oxford button-down. A tried and true, a classic, every man needs an Oxford button-down. Also need to mention, don't forget to roll up those sleeves. We love to see the forearm, the watch that you're hopefully wearing. We love it. But an Oxford is a great option when you don't want to look too fancy, but still want to look put together. These are really easy to dress up or down depending on what you pair it with. I'll give you 2 super easy outfit examples. So outfit 1 would be your Oxford, a pair of dark denim, boots, or sneakers, if you're a boot or sneaker guy, one or the other. And then outfit 2 would be an Oxford, a pair of trousers, and loafers, or a dress shoe. There are so many different things that you could pair with an Oxford to make it work for you and your personal style and your everyday life. So find something that works for you. For an Oxford button-down, I would also recommend starting with a white and a light blue. Next up, we have versatile dress shirts. I would recommend having at least a few nice dress shirts. Going for a few really versatile ones here will get the job done every time, no matter what you're wearing with them. So if you like the idea of a capsule wardrobe, a few simple, versatile button-ups will do the trick. Similar to my suggestion for the Oxford button down here, I would say white, light blue, and a stripe would be my top 3 recommendations. You're just going to get the most versatility out of those colors. And FYI, just so you guys know, the main difference between a dress shirt and an Oxford button-down is in the collar style. So dress shirts typically have stiffer collars that are meant to be worn with a tie, while Oxford button-down shirts have softer collars with buttons that help keep the collar down in place. Oxford button-down shirts are considered more casual compared to a traditional dress shirt, which is why I'm suggesting having both. They serve two entirely different purposes, so just so you know. Next up is a well-fitted suit. In my humble opinion here, I think every single man needs a suit. Whether you are a guy who wears one every single day or you have a rare special occasion that you wear a suit to once a year. It's just nice to know that you have a well-fitting suit in your closet in case you need it. And I'll also say from a woman's perspective here, a man in a suit, swooning. A distinguished gentleman who has his life together is the vibe you give off when you're wearing a suit. And even if you aren't someone who wears a suit often, on those rare occasions that you find yourself wearing one, just know that the lady in your life is probably a fan. And again, as I always say, but want to reiterate here, fit is the most important thing. Your clothes will look better and you will look better if your clothes fit you properly. Know your measurements and find yourself a local tailor that will get you in a well-fitted suit in no time. Keeping versatility in mind here, my color recommendations would be navy, charcoal, or black. I would say I would choose navy or charcoal above the black just because you're going to get more versatility out of them. If you're not a guy who wears suits often, I would absolutely go for one of the three that I just mentioned. But if you already have those and you're looking to have a little bit of fun and branch out, there are absolutely ways that you can do this. I've seen some beautiful suits that are in different colors that you might not necessarily think about when you think of a suit color, but I think this can be a really fun way to add a bit of color into your wardrobe, especially if you're a guy who's wearing suits all the time and you want to switch things up a little bit. So yes, regardless of how much you wear it, I think every single guy should have a well-fitted suit in his closet somewhere. Next up is a neutral sweater. I say neutral just for that added versatility. I would choose something that complements the other colors that you wear the most. A sweater is another thing here that you can wear on its own or layer depending on the season. You could wear this with your denim, boots, and a jacket in the fall, or your denim and sneakers in the spring, while things are still a little bit chilly, which it is here in Cleveland, so. Totally opposite sides of the spectrum here. If you dress very rugged or you dress very polished, there is a sweater out there that is going to work for you. So I don't want anyone down in the comments saying, I would never wear anything on this list, because anyone who is alive and breathing could rock a sweater. So save those comments. Next up, we have a stylish jacket. Since we're in the spring months right now and entering summer in the US, I'll stick to something weather appropriate and relevant, but keep in mind the weather where you live when you're thinking about what will work best for you. I would say something like a suede jacket, trucker jacket, shacket, bomber, leather jacket. I could go on and on here. There are so many great options. Where I live though, having one jacket is not going to cut it. I need something lighter weight for the spring and then something to keep me really warm during the winter. My favorite for each season right now would probably be my wool overcoat for the winter and then my lightweight trench coat for the spring. So find what works for you, your lifestyle, the weather where you live. Again, any of those things I mentioned earlier I think are really wonderful choices. I'm a big fan of anything suede. I love a bomber jacket. I think a leather jacket looks great on a lot of men. This one is really going to come down to you and your personal preference. I don't want to make this too cookie cutter. So I really want you to use this as inspiration and find something that works for you based off of my recommendations. So happy shopping. Let me know what you pick down in the comments. Next, we have smart sneakers. This is not your gym sneaker or the sneaker that you wear to go for a run. This is an elevated sneaker that can be worn with an everyday casual outfit. Now, I'll always recommend the OG white sneaker here. This is probably going to be the most versatile and go with more things in your closet. And again, there are a ton of different variations of this. I'll show some photos just so you can see. But there are many other great options as well if a solid white sneaker just is not your thing. And it's not for some of you, and I totally get that and respect that. So find something that you like that works for you. Now, if you are not the type of guy who wears sneakers casually, example here, this is my husband. He only wears sneakers when he's working out. So this point on my list would not apply to him. For that type of guy, I would recommend something like a loafer instead. These can be worn casually with a pair of denim and an Oxford or dressed up, which makes them a wonderful choice. Or maybe you're not a sneaker or a loafer guy and you're a boot guy, which brings me into my next point, a pair of boots. The options are endless here. I think Thursday Boots makes some great ones at an equally great price point. Not sponsored, I'm just a fan of the brand, and I think they have a really great boot for an awesome price point, and they're usually the one that I recommend to you guys who don't really want to spend more than like $200. I think Red Wing also makes some beautiful boots, and if you've got a bigger budget here, I love brands like Alden, Viberg, Crockett & Jones. Again, I can help you guys in the comments if you have specific questions or want to send a boot my way and get the Courtney stamp of approval, but I want to leave it pretty open here so you guys can choose something that reflects your personal style and that's going to work with your lifestyle. Keep in mind a leather boot with a rubber sole is something to consider if you live somewhere that gets bad weather. There's going to be a more durable option than, say, a suede Chelsea boot with a leather sole. So obviously choose something that's going to work with the things that you have in your wardrobe and your personal style, but keep in mind the weather of where you live because I think that is really important. Next up, we have a pair of dress shoes, and that's because you need to have something to wear with that suit. And no, it's not your Nike Dunks. I'm sorry. Get yourself a nice pair of dress shoes that you can wear with your elevated looks. Again, even if you're a guy who rarely dresses up, you'll need them for those formal occasions or special events. These just help elevate a man's overall look and create a really polished appearance. Dress shoes can be paired with suits, dress pants, and even some more casual outfits, making them a versatile investment for any man's wardrobe. And lastly here, we have a watch. Now, if I had to choose one accessory for men, it would without a doubt be a watch. A watch is just my absolute favorite accessory for a man. It's an accessory that ascends any fashion trend. It's just a classic, and it's functional, which helps too. It's just a great way to add a little something extra to your outfit without overdoing it, especially if you're someone who's not really into accessories. Maybe we can consider the watch the bonus tip, because do you actually need it? No, but I think that every man should have one. And again, if I was working with clients one-on-one, I would suggest having a watch. I think they look really nice. This will pair really wonderfully with all the other things I added on my list today. And I think it really is just sort of the cherry on top to a wonderful outfit. So I would recommend having one. If you care about my opinion, that is why I'm assuming a lot of you are here. I would recommend having a watch. You don't 100% need it, but I think it's a nice to have. And I actually put this list together by going through my husband's closet and pulling out all the things that he wears the most and the pieces that I really feel he gets the most use out of. You might want to swap some of these depending on your lifestyle, but again, I think there is a way for everything on this list to work for all of you in some way, shape, or form. All of these can also be easily mixed and matched together to create a variety of looks for different occasions, which is another reason why I recommend really focusing on the staple, classic pieces that will help you to create a capsule wardrobe. And I think this is especially helpful as you get older and become a grown man, per the title of the video, to really narrow in on your personal style and what works for your everyday life. These are guides that I follow for myself as well. It's only fair to practice what I preach. So if you like this video or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me over on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys over on there as well. Let me know down in the comments what your staple classic pieces are that you could not go without. I would love to hear your personal suggestions and share your wisdom with some other guys down below. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.